Have you ever stopped to think about the people you spend the most time with? I mean, really think about it. Did they lift you up, or do they kind of weigh you down? The answer to that question, it shapes everything. Your energy, your success, even your happiness. Today, we're going to break down a framework that can be a total game changer for your relationships. The circle versus the cage. This quote, man, it just gets right to the heart of it, doesn't it? We usually think the problem is all about finding the right people. But what if the real problem is that we haven't let go of the wrong ones? What if the people holding you back are literally taking up the space that's meant for the people who will help you fly? That's what we're going to find out. And that's the real challenge, right? The lines can get so blurry sometimes. So how do you get that clarity? Well, I came across a framework that just cuts through all the noise, and it really helps you see your relationships in a completely new light. All right, so let's start with the ideal, what we're all aiming for. We're going to call this your circle of trust. Think of it as the gold standard for the people you let into your inner world. So, what does being in a circle actually feel like? Well, it's that feeling you get after you hang up the phone and you just find yourself smiling. It's when you share some good news and you can tell their excitement is just as real as yours. You leave conversations feeling energized, not exhausted. And you can be completely yourself, flaws and everything, and you feel celebrated, not just tolerated. This right here is the goal. Now, let's look at the flip side. Because for every circle, there's an opposite. And in this framework, we call that the cage. It's that environment that kind of keeps you small and just quietly chips away at your well-being. A cage, well, it operates on totally different principles. It's built on obligation, that feeling that you have to see someone. It involves elements of control, whether it's super subtle or really obvious. And it promotes stagnation, not growth. The key takeaway here is the feeling. A cage leaves you feeling drained, confined, and just misunderstood. Seeing it laid out like this, wow, the contrast is just so clear, isn't it? On one side, you've got energy, inspiration, acceptance. And on the other, you've got drain, criticism, control. The most important thing here is to ask yourself this. After you spend time with someone, which side of this slide describes how you feel? That feeling, that's your most honest gut check for what kind of world that relationship is building around you. So you get the difference in theory, but spotting it in the real world, that's way harder. Why? Because, as this next part shows, sometimes the most draining relationships look exactly like the most supportive ones on the surface. I absolutely love this analogy because it captures the problem perfectly. Someone might say all the right things, they might look like a friend, like sugar, but their actual impact on your life is the complete opposite. They're salt. And if you're not paying attention, you'll end up putting salt in your coffee every single time. Okay, so this is the crucial part. We need a test, right? A way to look past the surface and see what's really going on in a relationship. And it's not about what people say. It's about what they do, especially when it really matters. All right, let's get practical. Here are the tests. First up, do they only seem to appear when they need a favor? Second, watch how they react to your success. Is it genuine joy or is it more of a backhanded compliment? That little hint of jealousy, that's a huge red flag. And the biggest test of all, when things get tough, are they actually there or do they just vanish? Actions, my friends, always speak louder than words. So you've identified a cage in your life. Now what? I know the idea of walking away can feel overwhelming, confrontational, even scary. But it really doesn't have to be. Let's talk about the escape plan. This is so important. You have to forget that dramatic movie scene where you give a big speech and slam the door. This is about a quiet, deliberate process. It's about slowly, intentionally redirecting your energy away from what drains you and putting it toward what actually fuels you. The process is actually pretty simple. First, you identify the cage. We just covered how to do that. Second, you set a boundary. It doesn't have to be a big deal. A simple, sorry, I'm not available then, is a complete sentence. And finally, you gradually create distance. Politely decline some invitations, keep conversations a little shorter. The key here is that you are taking back control of your time and your energy. See, as you create distance from the cage, you're not creating a void. You're creating space. And that space is everything. It's not about ending up alone. It's about making room for the right people to come into your life. The ones who will actually energize you, inspire you, and accept you for who you are. Ultimately, this is what it all comes down to. The people you surround yourself with, they're a mirror. They reflect your standards, your values, and what you believe you deserve.
So just take a moment. Look around at your life. Who are you allowing into your inner circle? Because answering that question, that might just be the first step to building the life you truly want.